Alright folks, so here we are. Just took the side panel off and the top panel. And here we are with my two top red LED fans, Cooler Master Megaflows. So here's the plan. I'm actually thinking, since this one's going to be blowing down, if we grab this one, which is the Sigmatech blue, which only goes that way, and as you can see it only has mounting for one side. Yes, that's like cobwebs and spider webs you're seeing. What I can do, since it's going to be blowing that way, it can only blow that way, I can just put that on top of the case. Only problem is these ones have larger size screws. So I'm going to have to do what I did up here. I'm going to have to crack out my dad's drill again, find the proper size screws, and make these holes larger so that the screws for this fan can fit in. Because I would like to use these LED fans because I did buy them. So, but yeah, so that's where I am right now. I mean, obviously this is pretty early in the process, but you know, some people like to see the whole kind of walkthrough of what's happening. So here's the inside of the computer right now. Got the Crucial M4 128 gigabyte SATA 3 6 gigabit per second SSD right there. Got spiderwebs and crap in here. I don't know like how or why, but there's the graphics card. There's the CPU heatsink. I love this thing. There's all 4 DIMM slots filled with 4 gigabytes of RAM each, obviously. There's the back fan and the motherboard, of course. The awesome graphics card. I love this thing. The old TX 650 watt power supply. They've made a newer one that's actually 80 plus bronze. Yeah, so both of my hard drives are in this right here. You can't really see it too well, but basically these are pop-out drive bays that are hot swaps for hard drives. So basically they just plug into there. These SATA ports go through and hook them up into the motherboard. Back here, you've got the back of the Rosewill media card reader, the fan controller, the NZXT Century 2, and then this is the CD/DVD drive. That's pretty much all that matters at all. Hopefully I won't have to crack open the back of the case, because I hate doing that, because then I have to deal with all the cables. Because it's crazy back there. It looks nice from this side, but ugh. So, yeah. So I'm going to get to work on this, and there will be more footage. Okay, so the nice thing is this one, I'm actually not going to have to crack out the drill, because this one was already, the screws are big enough in that. So I was able to just put that one in there, and I'll be able to just put that one over there. So a couple things. One, to all the haters of the Cooler Master Half series, specifically this Half X, a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't have dust filters. Well, you're all ignorant and completely wrong. Like, do some studying beforehand, because there's a dust filter here, as you might be able to see a lot of the dust that's filled up on it. There's obviously a dust filter here, and there's a dust filter on both of these. Like, you can kind of see where this dust has built up, and there's a very thin mesh here, which is a dust filter. The only fan slot that does not have a dust filter is the back one, and that would be correct, because it's to try and, so basically, if there is dust in the case somehow, because there will always be a way to get in, like through here, the dust can go right through that fan and through this grill. So, all you haters, you're wrong, and I'm right. But anyways, so on to the next thing. So I've been looking, and it's like, if you think, I'm wondering how much this one, because if this one's an outtake, this one's an intake, I'm wondering how much of an actual change in temperatures this will have, because this thing's airflow, because it's pulling air this way towards the back of the case, and with this thing in its way, I don't know how much this fan can actually grab from over here, because that's where all this air is coming down from. Granted, I'm sure these temperatures will decrease at least somewhat, but I'm gonna wait before I'll probably like do testing and stuff before because I don't want to make this one up here an intake as well, because that would be a lot of intake and very little outtake, because then pretty much the only fan taking air out would be this one here, and that would be a very small amount of air going out. Kind of want to make it even, or a little bit more coming in, but not so much more. So you kind of want to have it as close to equal both ways as possible. So yeah. Ew, the PCBs for my motherboard were made in China. What the fuck? I thought they were made in like Japan or whatever. I don't know, but so yeah, I'm gonna be able to. I'll soon be done here putting this all back together. The Sigmatech up here is on. This will be blue. This will be red. It's kind of a neat contrast. The one that'll be sitting here is red. This one's red. This one's blue. So it'll be a nice, and this one's red here. So it'll be kind of a nice selection of colors. So I'll be back with more. First update in a while as a spider climbs down the wall, kind of on a Web 2, I guess. Okay, so obviously the back is off. This fan's obviously installed. And what I wanted to show you guys that I just did, this was a bit difficult, but I managed to pull this off. Why is there no light right here? There you are. Okay, so you might be able to see it. No, probably not. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Got the light attached to my desk. And now we can actually see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, my cable management on the back is kind of shitty, but you know, what can you do? There's a little spider. So anyways, this is something that some computer enthusiasts do, some don't. I think it's because some people just aren't comfortable doing it, but I want to give it a try because I've seen that it does work apparently. You take the CPU cord, and basically what happens is it goes up behind the motherboard, and instead of like coming up here, because I was using this this extension one just because it was like a couple inches short, but what I did was it goes up and literally right kind of in that motherboard tray it goes through. On the other side comes out just barely right there and connects. That's pretty useful, actually. Oh my god. Drop the camera. Okay. So basically, I don't have to use some ugly extension thing, and it helps kind of tone down on the amount of cables, because I don't have a modular power supply yet. Until I get another job, I won't be able to get one, or unless I get money, but that wouldn't be until Christmas, because modular power supplies are expensive. But, it tones down the amount of cables that I have to have in there, and since, I mean, it was only like an inch or two short beforehand, that like 8-inch long one was just ridiculous, and it just added more clutter. So this kind of helps tone down the amount of mess. Now I'll be able to kind of clean some of that up. Some of it's pretty difficult, like got a whole bunch of SATA power cables right here that there's really nothing I can do other than kind of stuff them here and hope that they don't stick out too much. Because I'm trying to make it so that putting the back panel for this case on isn't a pain in the ass with all these like cables sticking out, like that want to like come out further. Like right now they're sitting where they want to be sitting. And obviously if you look from the side here, there's several that are really like they don't want to push in much. They want to sit out. So some of them have a lot of pressure that's pushing them out. So basically, when I put the case side on, some of them will like it's a fight to get the case back on. So, but yeah, so got that done, and hoping that it works out for me. It should. I'm gonna put the 2 screws back in the motherboard that I had to take out to kind of push the motherboard a little bit to let it through. Gonna get the fan on that one, along with the air duct, wherever the air duct is, right there on my mouse. Obviously you see the Dell monitor next to the gateway monitor. It looks nice. Speaker there, coffee thingy there. Yes, that's a heating thing, it's awesome. Keyboard, not on the keyboard tray, because keyboard trays are dumb. So, yeah. This is, we're getting somewhere. Now, you might hear old war music in the background, I don't know, but anyways, so here's the stage we're at. This is all attached. Basically, this will suck air in from the outside through this dust filter. Hold on. There we go. Through the dust filter right here. And then I'll go through the fan, obviously, and this air duct, which will basically kind of help aim the air towards the graphics card. So that's where we are. Almost done. I'll be working on trying to get that cables a little bit cleaned up as much as I can. But yeah, so this is almost done. Okay, so hopefully you can hear my voice over the awesome music in the background. Probably should, since the speakers are a fair distance away past the chair. But so as much as I hate how something looks in here, it's probably the best way to do it for the most part. So there's this cable here that connects to this back plate. I'll show you in a minute what's on the other side. It's basically just a switch, but what I've done to kind of like hold the cable down onto here is just use black electric tape, since obviously it matches the case then. But what it's connected to is 1 and 2 black, this fucking angle sucks, 2 cathode, blue cathode lights. I want them back in my case just for show when I'm showing somebody or whatever, because so many idiots of the world are like, oh my god, LEDs must mean the computer is good, which is false, but I mean I can't talk too much since I do have quite a few LEDs in my computer. But yeah, so basically, and that just connects to that thing which kind of controls it. There's like a sound thing or whatever, but I don't know, I don't use that. And then I'm kind of like holding these cables down and whatever. It's kind of a mess, but you know, better they be in here than like pushing the back of the case out, I guess. Weird noises in the house. Okay, so, and finally, on the back of the case is a switch. Hopefully you saw that, because I'm not going to just get up just to make sure that you see the switch. But basically it just turns the cathodes on and off. I won't have them on usually, because it's just overkill. But, yeah. So, we're just about done here. Just need to now kind of make all the cables look nice. There's the fan without the grill and everything in front of it. The dust filter. But yeah, so alright, so yeah, here's the 80 gigabyte hard drive now. There's the SSD. So that's where we are at now.